Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls around the world. It is once again time for the WADcast. It is the Writers, Actors, Directors podcast, where we talk about all those things. I'm one of your hosts, Josh, joined as always by Mr. Wadco Media Man of the Year.
What's up, everybody?
Brandon.
So, how you guys doing tonight? It's good to see everyone here. Bear with me. I'm just trying to get this all shared because I was very ill prepared tonight. Josh, please go ahead, just take over so I can, if you don't mind. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, no problem. How's everybody doing out there in listener land? I hope you're having a great week. It's the kickoff to, that season of the year where everybody is, instantly better to each other and people just have no negative comments to say unless you're Quentin Tarantino. It seems, wow, that guy's kind of put his foot in it when it comes to certain fandoms, I'd say. And tonight, we're going to be talking a little bit about that foot in mouth disease that's been going around. Wow. And I know I wouldn't say we're sitting on the precipice of this major revelation where we're going to get the greatest films ever made. No, I'd never say that about the current crop of studio films coming out in this era. But, to say one of the worst eras in film history might be a bit of a stretch. And that's not even including the, wow, Marvel doesn't have movie stars. That, the context of the quote is a bit understandable, but it's a topic that we've actually covered on the show before. So I guess before we go into the air, to just take a brief dive, a brief rehash into that particular quote. The context behind it is people don't go see Marvel movies for the stars. I'm sure Robert Downey Jr. would beg to differ, but and Samuel L. Jackson actually did. But this is something we tackled a while back about how since I'd say maybe around the time Marvel movies started coming out, who knows? Just the industry itself has kind of strayed away from tentpoling franchises around stars. Just the entire industry has noticed a considerable drop off in audience participation just because somebody's in a movie. Black Adam is going to be notorious for this because The Rock, a man once known as franchise Viagra, failed to have Black Adam return a profit, even though, as far as superhero movies goes, it was fine. And like I said, people just as a whole aren't really gravitating towards particular actors on the big screen anymore. They want to see the familiar characters.
Yeah.
And that's just been a trend. That is definitely not an indicator of or caused by Marvel. They just happen to be one of the film studios that sort of saw it coming. That they knew that people were going to line up to see their characters, not necessarily the people that played them. But at the same time, it can be said that they also do invest into the future of their characters by making sure the vast majority of their major players are locked into contracts to keep playing those characters. which, it gives the audience a secure feeling that they're not going to have the continuity ruined in their head, and they can actually invest in these stories because they're safe. They know the faces that are attached to the character. So some might say, you know what? Those people are movie stars. If you're synonymous with a movie character, that should instantly make you a movie star, right? I think what Quentin meant was, it's not like it used to be.
Yeah. Was I wrong what the episode was about tonight?
No.
Okay. I was just like, I didn't know if you're like, because I have a whole thing of like Quentin we can talk about, but I didn't know. Yeah.
Now, that was just the impetus for getting into what we will kind of like fully break out in just a minute. I was just buying time because you had stuff you had
no. I didn't want to interrupt you because you were like on this whole rant about like Tarantino. I'm like, well, he's an idiot. So he's mediocre at best with his writing and storytelling. I think he's okay, but his movies are all written and directed the exact same way. There's nothing new that he brings to the table in any one of his films.
You know what you're going to get.
Tarantino is, huh?
You know what you're going to get when you see a Tarantino movie.
Yeah, a lot of feats, a lot of really like quick wit and dialogue nonstop. You're going to have some kind of like very pretentious cinematography involved. I don't understand how the man has a career based on mediocrity. Like Reservoir Dogs, yeah, it was good. Was it great? No, God, no.
That's
Pulp
my
Fiction
favorite
was
Judy
good.
movie. Pulp Fiction's a kind of lower.
Yeah, Pulp Fiction was.
Non-linear storytelling isn't exactly my thing.
That's all of his movie though. Like all of his movies are non-linear storytelling. He's a huge fan of that, and you hear from him all the time, like about how great. Like if suck their own cock, it would be Tarantino. Like I've never heard someone praise himself so much in their career outside of Tarantino. Well, there's a few other directors out there, and there's a few actors, but he just does it so much that he stands out. He's like the white filmmaking Kanye West.
Oh wow.
Like that's what he comes off as to me. It's like he's not talented enough to be a good actor, so he's got to give himself some roles in his films. But he still plays these characters, and he's just Tarantinoing it the entire time.
Yeah.
Like that's.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah.
And I know there's a
segment
of the fans out there that say, but he's not only a part of the machine that makes movies, he's also a movie fan. That's why his opinion is more valid.
No, anyone that makes movies is a movie fan, though. Otherwise, you would not be making movies. Every filmmaker has their favorite movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, I don't get it. Like, Spike Lee has his favorite movies. Spike Jonze, same thing. Robert Rodriguez has movies that he thinks are like absolutely amazing. Kevin Smith talks about his favorite movies all the damn time. You have like James Cameron. You have all these filmmakers that have their favorite movies. And the older, the more you date back to the filmmakers, the further back their taste in films go. So I mean, like, the whole like, I mean, he's a filmmaker. Who gives a shit? It's Tarantino. Like I don't know. He's Tarantino. He's got okay movies.
What I don't understand is that there has been this agreement among these old school filmmakers that Marvel is somehow bringing down the collective IQ of filmmaking when it comes to what they're doing.
I mean, superhero
I
movies and
don't see it.
superheroes in theaters is nothing new.
Doing it well
For
is
almost a century. Is it me breaking up or is it you?
I'm not sure. Everything seems right as rain on this end. You seem a little laggy.
I'm looking at myself like my picture is like not like freezing, but I see that yours is freezing a little bit here. So I'm trying to figure out whose end it's on. But if you look back to like the Superman serials or the Batman serials, the superheroes in a movie theater is nothing new.
No, not at all.
So to say that like the superhero movies have taken over the box office, all that happy horse shit, it is just that it's horse shit. It's been around for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And you go from like Batman to Superman to Zorro and the Shadow, all these like even like before movie theaters, you had like, and during movie theaters, you had the radio. You had things like the Shadow that played on the radio. People listen to these things all the damn time. Like it's like
the
I don't understand this whole. I don't know. So it's like the whole pretentious attitude of people in superhero movies are not superheroes, and I've read the full quote. He doesn't just say that they're not like they're not actors or whatever the hell it was. Huh?
Movie stars.
Yeah, no, he says they're not movie stars. The superheroes are the movie stars. Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, they're the movie stars. Okay, well, you can say the same thing for any other movie. They're actors playing characters. So, honestly, we've wasted too much time on the waste of life known as Tarantino. I'm not going to address him any further, aside from the fact that Tarantino, I'd love to have you on the show so I can actually tell your pompous ass to get the hell over yourself. I'm sorry, you have film school style at best. I've seen more talented work coming from a sophomore film school student. Half the ego.
And I would love to have you on the show to tell you that I enjoy some of your films.
I enjoy them.
And would love to have you bankroll our projects.
Yeah, his films are like I said it. They're okay. They're not Oscar worthy, but Oscars are a joke as well. They're movies. You can watch them. He really loves the N-word. He writes it in every movie. But
it's edgy.
Outside that, I think he's okay.
Whole lot of okay. But that did kind of make me wonder about the eras of cinema that he was referring to. So tonight we figured we'd kind of take a dive into that. The eras of film. And that's really what tonight's show is about.
Okay, 1 second here. Bear with me.
Bearing with you.
Okay. Yeah, so aside from the long ass quarter time frame show dedicated to Tarantino's completely useless ass cover with much more talented directors.
Well, we lost Brandon. I wonder if Tarantino, is that you screwing with us? No, probably not. Truth be told, it's probably It's probably branded on Wi-Fi or something. It's kind of messing with the signal. That's probably it. And he is the one with all the notes about the arrows tonight. So that's why I started off with the QT conversation and transitioned into our actual topic for the show. But of course, it wouldn't be a WADcast without some sort of technical issue. Now, would it? Now, any kind of professional would see this as an opportunity to start taking down, notes for the timestamp and make little edits. But we're live. Can't really edit live. And I want everybody out there to know that this is live. Even if you're downloading the show, you should have the experience of everything as it happens. Even if you're not here to join us live, you're here in spirit with this fully unedited show. Or maybe I'm just lazy. Who knows? Brandon's still trying to rejoin the show here. Not really working out. Well, in the meantime, I have taken a look at some of my stats from Letterboxd. And for those of you that haven't joined Letterboxd and you're movie fans, why not? It's a great way to keep track of all the movies you've watched and talk about a time sink, just going year by year and putting down all the movies you've seen, rating them, writing reviews if you want to. No, they don't give us money to talk about them, but maybe they should. But depending on how deep you want to go into it, I can recommend it. I personally love completely pointless statistics. I'm a nerd for numbers. So, like, at a glance, I can see that some of you might call them rookie numbers, but I've got just shy of 2,500 films in my collective watching, at least everything that I can remember.
Okay. I had no idea what was going on here. I don't know what I missed. Everything with the internet here went out for about 3-4 minutes. So, yeah. What did I miss here? Rookie numbers, something or other, what?
No, what you missed was me talking about how you're not here. And in a way to kind of, buy time until you return, I started talking about some of my stats from Letterboxd. And,
okay.
I was going to go into where my highest rated films were as far as eras go. But now we don't have to do that because you're back and we can talk about this.
Okay. Well, what last I said was we have more to talk about than Tarantino's completely mediocre ass. When it comes to everything else, there was yeah, sorry, 1 second. Even the computer is slowing down here. Here's my one per episode, but fucking hell. Sorry. Earlier, but I'm a little perturbed tonight, so I'm trying to get through this stuff. But I'm having quite a bit of technical difficulty here. There we go. All right. So, moving up. All right. So the first ever film came out in 1885. It was shown in France. In 1902, we had the start of the American cinematography bit with everything. Now moving forward, sound was not added until the 1920s, but until the 1920s, you had a lot of things that came into play with silent film. The silent era was a big thing. You had Buster Keaton, you had Charlie Chaplin. Josh, you don't have to mute yourself, man. Like me, like join in on the conversation. We had a lot of stuff going in here. We had a lot of movies, great movies that came out, but they're usually like serials or newsreels, things like that. That was the big thing in the 1920s, all the way to the 1940s, were newsreels in cinema. Well, at first they were newsreels, I believe, and then they turned into newscasts in cinema, where they would actually show footage from what's going on overseas in the war and so on and so forth.
The boys, they're fighting over there.
Yeah, and that was a style of storytelling. People don't realize that no one ever spoke that way. It was just a style of storytelling to make it more excitable for people.
Mm-hmm.
But
don't forget to buy your bonds.
Yeah. The bonds get you more bullets.
You gotta fight the Nazis.
Oh, God. But like the silent film era ended in the I believe it was like the late 1920s is when the silent film era ended. But before that, like I said, you had Buster Keaton, you had Laurel and Hardy, you had Charlie Chaplin, you had all these movie stars that, by today's standards, were so unconventional.
The Marx Brothers.
The Marx Brothers. Oh yeah. Like that. I'm just saying, there were plenty of them, but it was more comedic than anything else. Mm-hmm. But you had movies like, it was like an old like horror film that came out. It was.
Huh.
Jess, can you kick me out for 1 second? I've got to get this call.
Yeah, I got you. Well, the fun continues, doesn't it? So, there we are. We're talking about the silent film era, moving into the talkies. Love some classic comedy. When you're ready, Brandon, just show me a thumbs up on your camera, and I'll bring it right back in. So, classic eras of comedy. Let me pull up. See, the 1930s. 1930s brought us a lot of timeless films. The 30s, you say, 90 years ago. We had The Wizard of Oz, Snow White, the original Disney version. By no means the original version of the story, because after all, it is an adaptation. Like if you listened to 1021, we did a whole episode about pre-1980s animation, and I gave a little note that said, for everybody that's worried about Disney making reboots and remakes and sequels, right? Or they're spending all of their times adapting IP rather than coming up with, as you sometimes put it, original IP. Where's the new story? Says the comments I hear are quite often. Well, remember, Disney has always done this. I mean, this is day one stuff. Pretty much the whole House of Mouse is built upon adapting IP, usually through the public domain. That's why there's a Disney. Fairy tales and things of that nature. It's what made Disney what it is. So no, it's not new. It's literally ingrained in their DNA to take these things, to take these properties and bring them to us. Now, do I understand the logic in how you say making live action stuff? The live action remakes? Honestly, no. especially when you say we just made a live action Lion King. No, you just made an updated cartoon. Because last time I checked, there were no lions singing and dancing in that movie. It was still just CG. Unless they got a little more something going on over there that I'm not aware of. It was still a cartoon. So whenever you're ready to throw up that thumbs up sign, Brandon, and now he's gone again. Okay. But we're talking about the 30s. We had Charlie Chaplin in modern times. Gone with the Wind, the 30s. Frankenstein. How about this? Dracula with Bela Lugosi. These were all part of the same era, the same decade. Duck Soup, All Quiet on the Western Front, Stagecoach. I'm just waiting on the thumbs up for Brandon when he's ready, and I'll bring it right back in. If you're ready, thumbs up. There we go.
Okay. Sorry. Apparently, my job doesn't realize that if I don't answer one person, i.e. the receptionist, it doesn't mean have 15 other people call me back to back to back to back to back to back to back. Do I think it's an emergency? But it's not an emergency. It's, hey, come on. Like, come on. Come on what? What's going on? Is everything okay? We need your help. We're short staffed. Like, oh, okay. No. I hang up and I'm about to log back in, and it's another phone call.
That explains that. Yeah.
This is exactly why. Never mind. It's
topic for a different show.
Yeah, and I close out of all my notes, so I don't even have my fucking notes. Anyway, so we were talking about what?
Well, I was talking about
shit right now.
The 1930s.
Yeah.
Moving into the talkie era, and I was mentioning some of the stuff that's still revered today. The Wizard of Oz, Gone with the Wind, all from the 30s. The Invisible Man, Bela Lugosi, and Dracula. The birth of basically the Universal monsters.
Yeah, I
stuff that we're moving on about 100 years.
Somehow, when I was closing out the phone calls, I closed out of all my notes, and I don't think I backed the notes up. And the notepads I have are not on my personal right now. So I am going into this conversation completely blind and unprepared.
That's me every week.
Yeah, but this is actually something I was passionate about talking about, so I did a lot of.
That's true. That's true.
So I'm actually, ladies and gentlemen, I apologize to everyone for my demeanor. I don't mean to come off as being rude or impatient or even I guess moody. It's just this is like the one time a week that Josh and I can actually let loose and just joke with each other for like an extended period of time.
Yeah, yeah.
And I work healthcare. I'm always at work. So I am constantly stretched thin with my job. Josh, you don't have to you're welcome to chime in on this because you know how it is. Yeah. You don't have to silence yourself at all. I appreciate the respect. Thank you. But you don't have to do that. But there's limited times where I can speak with Josh because of my schedule. He lives in Florida. I live in California. So I have usually early mornings are a safe bet, kind of, and occasionally I might drive home from work to discuss ideas for the show, for personal projects, things of that nature. I'm not going to get into my work life, but it's not been a good cohabitation on my end. And so while I'm trying to provide insight towards the show and discuss things on the one time a week that I can actually just unwind and discuss things I look forward to talking about, which is movies. It's the film industry. My phone has just been blown up by 6 or 7 different people at a healthcare facility because I'm absolutely needed. on my night off, despite that I work Thanksgiving. I'm going to be working Christmas Day. I'll be working Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve and New Year's Day as well. So my frustration is simply that. So I apologize if it comes off mixed here. I don't think anyone's really ever seen me annoyed or irritated on this show with anything, except for that one time when we got kind of political. But aside from that, I've never really gotten annoyed or out of pocket with anything. But this is just give you guys an insight as to what's going on. I do apologize. I truly do. I'm just now, because I was trying to get out of that phone call and trying to get back to my work, I closed out of all of my notes that I had that I was excited to discuss and bring up. Yeah, the years, the actors, the directors, the dates, I don't have any of that at my disposal right now at all. So I am completely now, because of a job that I absolutely loathe with a flying passion, am boxing without hands, so to speak.
Well, that's never stopped us before. Unfortunately, I know you were looking forward to bringing up very specific things.
I had plenty. So, anyway, how about them damn Jaguars, huh, Josh?
I don't watch soccer.
Guy dancing around his thong in a Jaguar's head the entire time. God damn it.
I can tell you my fantasy football team is dead in the water.
Yeah. So, yeah, I got... Yeah. I don't know what I was going to... Sorry, that's just how bothered I am by, because everyone knows what my schedule's like.
Mm-hmm. Got a comment there.
Yeah, I know. Hi, Sam. Sorry, love. I'm trying to do things. How about this? Since the job that I want so badly to remove the patients from the building and lock all the ones I can't stand inside and watch it burn slowly to the ground keeps calling me, and I can't really access. Huh?
Are they still calling?
They are.
Well, tell them to tune into the show.
Oh no! I'm getting text. I'm getting text from them. It's like, oh, we're listening. Okay, listen. Coworkers. I'm going to say this in the most loving, professional way possible. In front of the thousands of people that tune in or download our episodes, the tens of thousands of people that tune in and download our episodes across the world. Everyone at Earlwood Care Center that works through 11. If you are, in fact, listening, do me a favor. Shut the fuck up. Stop texting. Stop calling. I'm not coming in. You're short-staffed, and I don't care. So, you can listen to me. You can listen to my co-host, Josh. What you're not going to do is take control of this show that he and I have been doing for over 2 years. Nobody cares about you that much. I sure as hell don't. I go home, I forget you exist for at least 16 hours. Now I come back in, and then my life starts back over of disappointment because I realize that you do in fact exist. So you can chime in, jump in the comments, be insightful for once. Talk about something that's important to you. If you like film, talk about film. If you like TV, talk about TV. Writers, actors, directors, everything in between, talk about it. That's the whole point of this podcast. That's the whole point of the show. That's what the tens of thousands of listeners do. They listen to the show. I don't mix my professional life with what I do with Josh because I don't care to do that. But if you want to be part of the show so much, I promise you, I will start getting back into line with the cold reads that we used to do that you know nothing about. And your names will all be part of them. in the most unflattering ways possible. Now, please, it's not funny that you call me while I'm doing this. It's not funny that you're texting me. I don't care about you that much. 4 of the 7 of you already have your numbers blocked by me now, permanently. Stop. I'd rather you guys troll the comment section than just be a bunch of dickheads. So, that being the case, thank you for listening to the show, and welcome. I hope you enjoy the WADcast. I'm looking forward to blowing my wad in your ears.
Wow. That's from episode 1.
It is. It's cool, man. I'm taking it back. Wow, that got really awkward for a second. It's kind of like, Daddy went to go get cigarettes and never came back, and Mommy's trying to figure out what to do with the kids.
Shut up, you kids. I just lost my man.
Oh, man. So let's just come back to this whole different era of films, because I've got to do like some more research on this now. I don't like talking about things that I'm passionate about blindly at all. Samantha, thank you very much for listening, sweetheart. I appreciate you chiming in. Hello. It's good to have you here. I hope you're still listening to the show, despite that whole little rant I just went off on. I try to keep that as family friendly and PG as possible. Because did I use the F-bomb?
Yeah.
Twice? Yeah. I did. Shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I broke that rule, so might as well just keep going. Yay, WADcast. So that being the case, now let's go back to Tarantino's thing.
Okay.
Because I want to discuss the eras in film. I really do. Yeah. More than anything, I want to discuss the different eras because it's such a great topic. It's so good.
Thank you. Thank you.
But Tarantino says that superhero movies are not actors in superhero movies are not movie stars. Samuel L. Jackson has worked with Tarantino multiple times. Jamie Foxx has worked with Tarantino. Mm-hmm. You have a few people in superhero movies that have worked with Tarantino. So you kind of have to wonder, like, I know what he meant by that. Like I said earlier, he said that they're not movie stars. The characters are the stars of the movies. But that makes no sense because Django is one of the only movies of Tarantino's I don't think absolutely sucks ass on a cellular level. Now Tarantino's part sucked because he's a horrible actor, and he's got a more atrocious Australian accent. That I don't know why he was an Australian in that movie in the Old West. It's Tarantino. I don't know.
I want to do an accent. What kind of accent can I do?
Yeah, like, well, you just do like an Old West, like, Southern hick accent. You don't want to do that. That's fine. Let's do a more believable and less horrible accent that you heard all the time in the Old West. Let's do Australian. I think you watched like Lightning Jack one time when he was younger. He's like, oh, that's a great idea. But you have multiple actors that have actually been in his movies. Right? Yeah. I mean,
Brad Pitt.
Yeah. Brad Pitt. What was it? Oh, God. What the hell was his name? Huh?
Brad Pitt, showed
up for Deadpool 2. But what I'm talking about is like, oh, shit. What the... God, I took my tongue. Kurt Russell. Hateful Eight with Samuel L. Jackson. Mm-hmm. Also in Death Proof. He's in a Marvel movie. So is he like
as the big bad of Guardians 2?
Yeah, is he a movie star? Is he just like is Ego the movie star? I'd say Kurt Russell is. Limiting actors to the characters that they play is dangerous. Michael Keaton is an amazing actor. He's an amazing character actor.
Yeah.
I didn't know who Michael Keaton was at first when I was younger. I didn't know of him in Batman. I knew of him in Beetlejuice. But he went from Beetlejuice to Batman. He came back as Batman in the Batgirl movie that got canceled, but now he's going to make an appearance as Batman in the Flash movie, where they hopefully finally get rid of Thing 1 of Ezra Miller and find a Thing 2 to replace his ass because he's useless. That guy's got some problems. He should not be around anything. He needs to be in like a psych ward right now.
Yeah. But he apologized, right?
I don't give a shit if he apologized or not. Like, dude needs to be locked up. I don't care. Ezra needs to go. Now, that being the case, Michael Keaton has become synonymous with the Batman. He is the guy you want to see as Batman.
Yeah.
No modern Batman is measured up to Michael Keaton's badassery and tone of Batman, but that's also largely due to Tim Burton. But to say that like superhero movies don't have movie stars because the superheroes themselves are the stars makes no sense, because that just tells you that any movie doesn't have a movie star, the character is the star. I would say that's synonymous, right?
Yeah, going back to the Black Adam thing, it had the biggest movie star in the world.
Yeah,
Did that
the
say
biggest
that?
or most overrated?
No, the biggest, the box office king, right?
I guess
recent memory. I'll say that.
I mean, it's Dwayne Johnson. I think he's okay at best. What he does.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, I think, does what a lot of people should do, as far as know what his range is and then do that exclusively.
Range. Yeah.
Hey, he fits into a box and he fills that box. He knows who he is.
His range is... we had this discussion. You and I had this discussion the other week. His range is confused, sullen, soured, and I guess smiling.
Mm-hmm.
That's his range. Even his sad look is, sour looking. I don't know.
But he doesn't try to, leave his box.
No, he's comfortable where he is. He's like, wow, I only have to one of 4 faces this entire movie. All right, you need a tear? Thank God, I can't cry for shit.
And he gets paid a lot of money to do it.
A lot of money. They're like, hey, we need like an angry-looking Samoan guy. Let's get The Rock.
And as far as the era of The Rock compares to other classic action hero eras, because in the 80s you had Schwarzenegger, you had Stallone. The 90s moved into more of a martial arts kind of craze with Van Damme, Seagal. Chuck Norris kind of bridged the two. But The Rock is doing exactly what they did. And I don't understand why somehow that makes things worse. Because, quite frankly, at the moment, he's really the only action star there is going right now, right?
Yeah. One of the only ones.
Other people do action movies, but Batista, Dave Batista, it looked like he was going to start following those footsteps. And John Cena, strangely enough, they're all wrestlers, but there are certain patterns that you see. Like, okay, they did action movies, right? And then they did the action star with the kid movie, and they all did that.
Yeah.
But Dave Bautista is the really the only one that's really followed up with more action stuff. John Cena, he did Peace. Peacekeeper.
Wasn't that George Clooney? Oh, Peacemaker.
Yeah, I get the two mixed up.
I was going to say, Peacekeeper was like George Clooney. Peacemaker was Johnson. Okay, sorry.
Peacekeeper is also a shotgun in Apex Legends. So, yeah.
So,
PK, shotgun.
okay.
PM, John Cena. Got it. Okay, but yeah, he did Peacemaker. That was more comedy than action, and that's fine. It was TV. Nothing wrong with that. We're in a great age for television. It's the whole idea that right now, as far as someone that is firmly committed to doing different action stuff,
yeah,
we only have Dwayne Johnson. Everyone there are other actors that dip their toes into the action field. There are a lot of action movies, but as far as being certified bona fide action star, that's pretty much it. Even Vin Diesel.
Yeah, but still, Vin Diesel is like Vin Diesel. I think Vin Diesel wants to be Dwayne Johnson. I mean, like, listen, Vin Diesel has an entire crowd of middle-aged bald men that think, hey, I'm bald now. I don't have much going for me. But you know what I can do? I can wear a V-neck or a tank top, get a replica of the cross that what's-his-face wears in the Toretto wears in the Fast and Furious movies, and I'll be a Vin Diesel impersonator.
And it works for them. About family.
No, dude, seriously, have you ever seen those videos of these people?
Yeah, I have.
It is sad. Like, I mean, if it works for them, that's great. But my God, it's all about family, though. God, I would say Vin Diesel is not a movie star. Vin Diesel doesn't really pack seats. Put him in anything outside of saying I am Groot or the Fast and Furious franchise and see like Triple X, it didn't really do that great.
It didn't really move the radar. I mean, I think it could have been a completely different story if he came back for the sequel originally.
The State of the Union. But then he came back for the third one.
Mm-hmm.
Pitch Black was decent, but that wasn't because of Vin Diesel. Vin Diesel didn't make Pitch Black amazing. It was actually the story that made it pretty damn good. It wasn't amazing. It was okay. And then when they did Riddick, Chronicles of Riddick, it was okay, but now they want to do another Riddick movie, but it's been like how many years? When did the Chronicles of Riddick come out? Like 2004?
So the Chronicles of Riddick came out in 2004, yes.
They want to do like another Riddick movie. Huh?
Said one of these days I'm going to watch it.
But that's the thing. They want to do another Riddick movie. What, 18 years later? Like, come on, man.
Well, in 2013, they did Riddick.
The animated series.
No, the film.
Oh, no, I forgot about that one. Okay. But it still wasn't that great. It didn't do that great.
It's less than mid, as the average rating puts it.
So, but people like want him to do another Riddick movie. Like, why? Why would you want that? Like, I mean, they kind of bled it dry. Like, it's been 9 years now. Like, leave it alone. Like, just call it.
Yeah, there are certain franchises that can be revisited every so often.
I agree with you.
When I found out about A Christmas Story Christmas,
You found about what?
A Christmas Story Christmas.
Oh yeah.
I watched it. By the way, I enjoyed it very much. Is it the best thing ever? No. It's a lot like the original as far as technically speaking. If you want to nitpick, there are of course issues. but I think it has a lot of the same heart as the original, and not to mention the same lead. So there's that continuity going for it. The thing is, every once in a while, there are things that you kind of want to recheck into. You want updates. You want to know what's going on with these characters. That's one of the reasons Top Gun Maverick did so well, I think, because
Yeah.
hey, let's check in with Maverick, and
Yeah, but
turns out that that was a draw, and it also helps, especially as far as Top Gun Maverick goes. You went and made like an old school action flick with fast jets and practical effects. So it's not like you're watching some sort of live action cartoon hybrid. I'm always
yeah.
going to be a fan of more practical set design. There's a time and a place for, doing an entire movie in a room with 4 green walls. But sometimes having those massive sets is just so much more satisfying. Even if it means, okay, so we can't recreate a huge city, but what if you could recreate a city block in the future, practically? That would be, I think, good. I know, I'm nuts. The future
No.
is now. Computer animation is king.
Well, it's like you look at other things like they say people aren't movie stars. Carl Urban in Dread.
Yeah.
Carl Urban was amazing in Dread, and you look at Carl Urban in what do you call it? The show
The Boys.
The Boys. He's amazing in the show.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have all these things. Like you cannot sit there and lock people into some kind of a box. Like they're not movie stars because they're in a comic book movie, because you're such a huge comic book geek that you cannot fathom a cinematic world with superheroes. Christopher Reeve he died years, like almost 20 years ago, but when he died, he was known as Superman. That's how everyone knows him. But he had things like Soap Dish. He had things like Village of the Damned. He was a great actor. He wasn't just Superman, but that's what he was known for. Hugh Jackman is known as Wolverine, despite him being a very talented actor.
And he can sing.
And he can sing, yeah. Robert Downey Jr., amazing actor. Outside of Iron Man, one of my favorite movies of his isn't like anything popular with people, but I loved him in The Judge.
Back to School?
Well, no, Back to School is good, but I'm just saying, like in The Judge or Charlie Bartlett. Watching him in those movies, like he's an amazing actor. He's not just Iron Man.
Mm-hmm.
I think uninformed idiots would look at these actors. What is it? Chris
Hemsworth.
Chris Evans in Knives Out. Hemsworth in Extraction.
Evans in Snowpiercer.
Yeah. Like these guys are amazing. They're great actors. What? I mean, Chris Evans in Not Another Teen Movie. But no, like there's plenty of these people. Chadwick Boseman, for Christ's sake, he's not just Black Panther. Like, how many movies was he in? God, you have all these actors.
Angela Bassett.
Yeah.
You're gonna tell me she will?
Michael B. Jordan.
See those movies because of Angela Bassett?
Yeah, Michael B. Jordan. Excuse me.
Bless you.
God.
Bless you.
I put this on mute. Oh, Susan. Sorry. Thank you. But you have a lot of actors and actresses that have been in all these movies that have amazing careers.
Mm-hmm.
They are movie stars and movie starlets. They've done more than enough. They've earned their place in the Hollywood spotlight.
Mark Ruffalo, spotlight.
Mark Ruffalo. Jennifer Lawrence, not so much, because Jennifer Lawrence is Jennifer Lawrence, and everything Jennifer Lawrence is in. It's like, she's really, I don't know. She shouts and everything. She's very loud.
Scarlett Johansson. She didn't get her Oscar nominations for being Natasha.
No.
2 in 1 year.
No. Yeah, I hate the movie, but she was amazing in He's Not That Into You. She was amazing in The Other Boleyn Girl.
Jojo Rabbit.
Like, Jojo Rabbit was and that was an incredible movie. Not something I would expect the director to make compared to his other work. Like, that was actually a really sad movie.
Yeah.
So Taika Waititi, actually, he did a great job with that film. But Ryan Reynolds, Ryan Reynolds is Ryan Reynolds. He's an amazing actor, but he's always Ryan. It's like The Rock. Mm-hmm. They have their own thing. They have their own style in everything they're in. You just see the same thing. Ryan Reynolds is a fast-talking, witty guy that in interviews or in movies, it's always just watching Ryan Reynolds. Dwayne Johnson, same thing. It's always watching Dwayne Johnson. He's a great guy from what I hear. He's a really, he's okay-ish actor, but he's like the leading action movie star in the world, from what you said right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
It does crack me up, though, because like in the 1980s, the action stars were like in their 20s or 30s or something, like 20s, 30s, like early 40s. Isn't Dwayne Johnson like almost like, is he like 50 some odd years old now?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
You have him, you have Liam Neeson, like the most unassuming guys, or like this really weird melting pot. Dwayne Johnson, nothing but muscles, sure, action star. Liam Neeson, action star, and you would never think he's as badass as he is, like in the movies he's an action star in.
Well, if you want to talk about, if you want to pull that thread, then allow me to introduce action star Bob Odenkirk.
Oh yeah. Better Call Saul, with nobody.
Didn't see that one coming, and it was awesome.
Oh yeah, the whole bus scene when he empties out the clip of the revolver. He's like, I've already said it more than once. I'm going to, you know what? There's no limitations on the F word tonight for me. I instill that right now. When he pulls out the gun and he it's like a revolver, and he gets like, the barrel out and dumps the bullets out. He's like, I'm going to fuck you up. And there's this huge fight on the bus, and he beats the shit out of all of them. And the rest of the movie, like, you know what? Not just Bob Odenkirk. Let's talk about Christopher Lloyd.
Christopher Lloyd, yeah. Yeah.
For those of you that don't know Christopher Lloyd, Taxi, Back to the Future, Josh's favorite franchise ever, and the Addams Family movies. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Like, he's been in a few things, but I think those three are what he's most well known for, really.
Probably.
But in this movie, he's old. He's an old man. He's I think he's like in his like 70s or 80s right now, Christopher Lloyd. But he's up there.
Yeah, he's up there.
Living in a retirement home. He's got CNAs and LVNs that check on him, and he's over here strangling a guy to death while he's watching his movie. As a healthcare worker is coming in to check on him, he's being checked on, and he's just over here just strangling a guy like, "Oh, I'm okay."
Turn your TV down, sir.
Oh man.
So yeah, I guess if we're going to talk about this era of action, it's mostly unassuming, I guess. you got your Keanu Reeves types pulling off the John Wick, I guess, 4th movie coming out soon. Not to mention him in The Matrix. You know, he's got an action lineage. I struggle to call him like an action star today because his stuff isn't as explosive as what we're used to when it comes to what's called an action movie.
Yeah,
but it's more smooth. The fights, the gun fu plays out in a lot more smooth manner, and in a way, I'll say this: the best action movies aren't even coming from the States anymore. The stuff that's coming out from Korea, Japan, even India, is absolutely killer. And taking
Bollywood.
things to a whole new level. Because they're doing what the old, I'm aging myself here. Excuse me. They're doing what had to be done here back when, which was relying less on, post to make your action scenes awesome. And they're putting together amazing fight choreography and amazing gun choreography. And it's the results are absolutely insane. Just look at The Raid, possibly one of the greatest, action fight movies ever.
Haven't seen it.
It is. Whew, it's as soon as you do, let me know. It is intense.
All right, The Raid.
The Raid, yes.
What's it on?
Honestly, I'm not sure. I know The Raid 2 is on service. I don't know if The Raid is. I think it was on HBO. Yeah, The Raid isn't available to stream on anything that I have.
That's The Raid Redemption on
Yeah, that's the
Hulu.
second one. I would say the second one is good, but the first one is just amazing.
All right, well, I can look that up later on tonight and watch it.
But it was directed by Gareth Evans. He also did VHS 2.
Come on. Hey, can you see me okay?
Yeah. And I can hear you fine, too. And he's gone. Well, hopefully. Wait, is he coming back?
Okay. Listen, my phone's out. My internet here is actually being pretty spicy. So I'm probably going to have to get going, man.
Okay.
I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I was hoping this was going to be like a better show than what it has been. I do apologize for all the technical difficulties on my end, as well as the slight moodiness earlier. I greatly apologize. It's not the point of the show. The show is meant to be a place where we can go just hang out and just bullshit for an hour, hour and a half to 2 hours, depending. I've had a frustrating week. I kind of let that get the best of me earlier tonight, so I do apologize to everybody listening. Yeah, but I'm going to get going. BJacksman1982 on Instagram. I think Twitter. I don't know. I don't really, use it. The WADcast.com is currently down as we try to find a new home for it and then rebuild the website together. So that's all I got. Josh, I'm so sorry, buddy. I'm going to have to let you go because this is just going to keep doing this. It's already kind of like give me like the question mark.
We crossed the 60-minute mark, so technically we got a show in.
Well, I'm off next Friday too, so I'm just going to have to block a few more work numbers before I come on to the show next week. So, yeah. But yeah, everyone have a good night. And yeah, I'll let you take over, Josh. I'm going to log out so I don't keep delaying everything.
All right. Then you know what's happening.
Yeah, call me later on.
All right. Well, here we are. It's that time of the show again. Mind you, a little more abruptly than usual, but we made it. We made it to the end. We made it to the part where I can tell you, hey, kids, go to WADcast.com where you can find all the pertinent information and links to our socials. And if you are in the mood for a new shirt, well, we have one that's full of whimsicality. Yes, that is directly from the 1021 line. For those of you that listen to 1021 and watch us every once tonight at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific, new shirt designs up on the merch site. So go to wadcomedia.com, find out that stuff, and you can follow me on Twitter there. And you can find the links to the Facebook pages. It's all there at wadcomedia.com. So here we are. It's been a week, as Brandon said, and I cannot stress enough that the only thing standing between you and your dreams is you. Yeah, you're going to have outside distractions. You're going to have things that dissuade you from following the path that you want to go down. Nay, the path you're meant to go down. But you have to leap over those hurdles and become the thing that you want to become. And it's not difficult. If you want to be a writer, start writing. If you want to be an actor, well, there's scripts literally everywhere. Start acting. Now, mind you, it's a far cry from being a paid professional to do these things. But you know what? I'd say 98% of the people that are doing it professionally didn't just jump right into it. You got to start somewhere. And you start by doing it. First, do it for yourself. And then move on and do it for other people. But you have to get out of your own way. You have to get out there and start doing it. Well, that was the 113th time I've delivered that message. And I hope, at least for one of you, it rings true and rings home, and you decide, you know what, now is the time. So, until next time, this has been the WADcast episode number 113, I want to say. You can only keep track of so many numbers in your head, right? Yeah, number 113. This has been episode number 113 of the WADcast, the Writers, Actors, Director podcast, where we talk about writing, acting, directing, and all of those wonderful jobs in between when it comes to making all of your movies and television dreams come true. I've been Josh. Brandon was also here. Awesome fellow. And until next time, I hope you all have a wonderful week. And for you Wadco Media listeners, I guess I'll see you Monday for Tori Finds TARDIS. Have a wonderful night. Have a wonderful weekend. Have a wonderful week. Have a wonderful life.